Admiral Kethvar had commanded fleets across 17 star systems. His species, the Zephyrians, had subjugated countless worlds with their superior technology and ruthless efficiency. Their crystalline ships could phase through matter, their weapons could destabilize atomic bonds, and their tactical prowess was legendary throughout the galaxy. Yet here he stood, aboard what remained of his flagship, watching the primitive human vessels surround his decimated armada. It shouldn't have been possible. The humans had barely achieved faster-than-light travel 50 years ago. Their ships were crude metal constructs held together with primitive welding and powered by fusion reactors that the Zephyrians had abandoned millennia ago. When the High Council had ordered the invasion of the Sol system, Kethvar had expected it to be a routine subjugation, perhaps a few hours of token resistance before the humans surrendered. That was 6 months ago. Now debris from thousands of Zephyrian vessels drifted through space like metallic snow. The human fleet, though bearing countless scars and jury-rigged repairs, held formation around the survivors with military precision that would have impressed even the most seasoned Zephyrian tactician. "Admiral," his communications officer rasped through damaged vocal cords. "The human flagship is requesting parley." Kethvar's 4 eyes dimmed with exhaustion. "Open the channel." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the bridge of the human command vessel. The creature standing at its center was unremarkable by galactic standards. Bipedal, covered in pale flesh, with only 2 eyes and a mouth far too small for its head. Admiral Sarah Chen looked like she hadn't slept in days, her uniform torn and stained. But her gaze held the cold fire of someone who had seen too much death to be moved by diplomacy. "Admiral Kethvar," she said, her voice carrying through the universal translator with mechanical precision. "I'm told you wish to discuss terms." "Terms of surrender, yes," Kethvar replied, straightening despite his wounds. "Though I confess, Admiral Chen, your species continues to confound us. We came expecting to face a primitive civilization. Instead, we found something far more troubling." Chen's expression didn't change. "Troubling how?" "Your tactics defy conventional military doctrine. You sacrifice entire squadrons to save single vessels. You break formation to recover escape pods. You broadcast warnings before firing on civilian transports." Kethvar paused, studying the human's face. "Yesterday, one of your captains rammed his ship into our dreadnought not to destroy it, but to create an opening for our own escape pods to reach safety. Explain this behavior." "You wouldn't understand. Try me." Chen was quiet for a long moment. Behind her, the bridge crew worked silently, their faces bearing the exhausted determination of people who had fought an impossible war and somehow lived to see its end. "Every one of your soldiers who dies," she said finally, "is someone's child, someone's parent, someone's friend. When we see your escape pods, we don't see enemies, we see people trying to go home." She leaned forward slightly. "We've been monitoring your communications. We know about the families waiting for your crews on Zephyr Prime. We know about the memorial services being held for your dead. We know that your species feels grief just like we do." Kethvar felt something cold settle in his chest. "You've been studying us. We've been trying to understand why you came here, why you attacked our colonies, why you killed 3 billion of our people without ever attempting communication." Chen's voice remained steady, but something dangerous flickered in her eyes. "We found the answer in your cultural databases. You came here because you could. Because we were weak. Because taking our worlds would bring glory to your empire. That is the Zephyrian way," Kethvar said slowly. "Yes, it is." Chen straightened. "Which brings us to your request for mercy, Admiral. You want to know why we should grant it? Our surrender could benefit both our peoples. We possess technologies that could advance your civilization by centuries. Medical techniques that could extend your lifespans. Energy sources that could power your worlds for millennia. In exchange, you could allow my surviving crews to return home. It would be logical." Chen nodded thoughtfully. "It would be logical. If we were anything like you." The silence stretched between them, filled only by the hum of life support systems and the distant rumble of engines. Kethvar found himself studying the human's face, searching for any hint of what she might be thinking. "Here's what's going to happen," Chen said eventually. "Your surviving ships will be escorted to the edge of our system. Your crews will be provided with sufficient supplies to reach the nearest Zephyrian outpost. Your wounded will receive medical treatment. Your dead will be returned to their families. Cathavar blinked in confusion. I don't understand. No, Chen agreed. You don't, and that's exactly why we're letting you go. But why? We invaded your system. We destroyed your colonies. We killed billions of your people. By any measure of galactic law, we are war criminals deserving of execution. Chen turned away from the display, gesturing to her crew. Around her, humans began the complex process of organizing the largest prisoner exchange in galactic history. When she looked back at Kethvar, her expression had softened slightly. Because, Admiral, someone needs to go back and tell your people what humanity really is. Not the primitive savages you expected to find, but something far more dangerous. She paused. A species that chooses mercy not because it's easy, but because it's right. Even when mercy is the last thing we want to give. The transmission ended, leaving Kethvar alone with his thoughts and the growing realization that the Zephyrian Empire had just encountered something that would change the galaxy forever. Not through conquest or superior technology, but through the radical notion that strength was meaningless without compassion, and that true power lay not in the ability to destroy one's enemies, but in the wisdom to choose not to. In the depths of space, the human fleet began the long process of binding wounds and building peace from the ashes of war.